They told you that after 60 life was supposed to wind down, that your body would slow, your energy would fade, and your intimate spark gone, like an old flame that burned too brightly in youth and simply couldn't last. But what if everything they told you was wrong? Not just a little off, but completely, shockingly wrong. Hi, I'm Dr. James, a men's health expert with over 30 years of experience helping older adults not just survive aging, but thrive through it. And if you're over 60 or even in your 70s or 80s, I have something exciting, hopeful, and yes, a little surprising to share with you. Because in all my decades of research and one-on-one consultations with thousands of seniors across the country, one powerful truth keeps emerging. Nature is wiser than we think. You don't need expensive prescriptions, risky hormone therapy, or complicated regimens to feel alive again. In fact, you might already have the key sitting quietly in your refrigerator. What if I told you that 4 simple fruits, yes, fruits, could help reignite your energy, strengthen your circulation, and even restore that deep sense of closeness you thought was gone for good? Would you believe me? Well, stay with me because I'm about to walk you through exactly which fruits they were, or why they work, and how to use them to start feeling younger, more vibrant, and more intimately connected. Starting today, but before we dive in, take a second to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon. I share powerful natural health insights like this every week, specially crafted for your golden years. And if this resonates with you at all, even a little, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. I read every comment, every single one, because I want to keep improving just for you. Now let's unlock what nature has been trying to tell us all along. Section 1, the flow restorer, red grapes. Let's begin with the first fruit. It's not exotic. It doesn't come with fancy marketing or a complicated name. In fact, you've probably walked right past it at the grocery store hundreds of times. Red grapes. Yes, the humble red grape. The flow restorer. I'll be honest, there was a time early in my career when I thought medications were the only reliable way to improve circulation for aging adults. Pills, injections, maybe even surgery. That was the mainstream path. It was what we were trained to believe. But then something changed. I started listening, really listening to my older patients, especially the ones who were aging differently, who still had that sparkle in their eyes, who felt strong, engaged, and yes, still deeply connected to their partners. When I studied their routines, one thing kept popping up again and again: red grapes. Not just any grapes, the deep red ruby-colored ones, packed with a natural compound called resveratrol, a powerful antioxidant that works like magic inside your blood vessels. What resveratrol does is extraordinary. It helps relax and expand blood vessels, improving circulation throughout the entire body. That means more oxygen-rich blood reaching your muscles, your heart, your brain, and yes, your intimate areas too. You might not think about blood flow until it's gone, until your feet start getting cold, or you feel that creeping fatigue that sets in quicker than it used to, or when those quiet moments of intimacy feel a little more distant, like something is missing. That something is often healthy blood flow, and red grapes can help bring it back. For men, the impact can be especially powerful. You see, resveratrol supports nitric oxide production, a natural compound your body needs to trigger and maintain healthy erections. This isn't like taking a pill for a quick fix. This is your body doing what it was designed to do, just more efficiently, more smoothly, more confidently. But it doesn't stop with men. For women, red grapes support vascular sensitivity, especially in the pelvic region, where circulation tends to decline with age. That means greater warmth, more comfort, and a richer, more fulfilling emotional connection during intimate moments. And it's not just theory, I've seen it in real life. I had a couple both in their early 70s who had quietly accepted that their intimate life was behind them. Nothing dramatic, just a slow fading. But they started adding a cup of red grapes to their breakfast every morning. That's it. Nothing else changed. 3 months later, they came back to me practically glowing. "We're back," the wife said with a smile that spoke volumes. "It's not a miracle. It's nature working in harmony with the body. And we're just getting started." Section 2, the kidney guardian, cranberries. Now let's move to the second fruit, and I'll admit I underestimated this one for years. Cranberries. That's right, the same tart little berries you probably associate with Thanksgiving dinners and sweet sauces. For the longest time, I thought of cranberries as a festive side dish, nothing more. But the truth is they are quiet guardians of one of the most important systems in your body, your kidneys and urinary tract. You see, kidney function is often overlooked when it comes to intimacy and vitality, but it plays a massive role. When your kidneys don't function well, toxins build up, blood flow slows, inflammation easily increases, and not just anywhere, but especially in the sensitive areas most tied to pleasure, energy, and closeness. For men, poor kidney health means a direct hit to erectile function and stamina. For women, it often shows up as irritation, dryness, or a general sense of discomfort during intimacy. But cranberries change the game. These bright red berries are loaded with compounds, we're called proanthocyanidins, a mouthful to say, but a miracle for your health. They help reduce inflammation, fight infection in the urinary tract, and support healthy blood vessel function. That means fewer interruptions, fewer discomforts, and more confidence to engage with your partner without worry or hesitation. Even more importantly, cranberries support healthy blood pressure and nitric oxide levels, both essential for sexual performance and stamina, especially for men. One of my clients, a 68-year-old widower who had recently started dating again, began drinking a small glass of unsweetened cranberry juice every day. He was skeptical at first, but within a month he reported not only fewer nighttime bathroom trips, but also better energy, and in his own words, a return of feelings I thought were long gone. That's the power of real food, of natural healing, of tuning back into what your body really needs. Cranberries aren't just for the holidays anymore. They're a daily ally in your journey back to intimacy, energy, and confidence. Transition to next fruits. Now we've covered red grapes and cranberries, two everyday fruits with extraordinary power. But we're only halfway through because the next two fruits on this list, they don't just support blood flow or kidney health, they go deeper, helping your body produce natural nitric oxide, enhancing hormonal balance, and even reducing performance anxiety that can come with age. They're potent, they're delicious, and they're often overlooked. Are you ready to discover the final two fruits that can help you reclaim your spark? Then stay tuned for part 2, where we'll dive into the natural performance boosters that could change everything for your body, your connection, and your confidence, no matter your age. And remember, if you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Your second act might just be your best one yet. And as we saw in the last section, sometimes the most powerful changes in our bodies and relationships begin with something as small as a cranberry. When discomfort fades and the body begins to feel safe again, connection has a chance to blossom. Now let's follow that thread further. What happens when a fruit doesn't just protect you, but actively reawakens you from the inside out? 3. Papaya, the energy awakener. There's something almost magical about papaya. Maybe it's the color, a deep golden orange that looks like a tropical sunrise. Or maybe it's the way it melts on your tongue, soft and sweet, like a quiet memory of warmer, slower days. But beyond its delicious taste lies a strength most people over 60 have no idea exists. Papaya isn't just a fruit, it's a key to unlocking vitality, particularly for men who feel like their energy and intimacy have quietly slipped away. I remember a man in his early 70s, let's call him Mr. Daniels, a retired high school principal, dignified and thoughtful. He came to me one afternoon with a tired smile and a hint of frustration in his voice. "I'm doing everything right," he told me. "Eating healthy, walking every morning, even meditating. But I still feel empty, tired, and I miss the closeness with my wife." He wasn't complaining, not really, just quietly grieving a part of life he thought had faded for good. That's when I suggested something simple, a daily serving of papaya. Just 1 cup blended with a bit of Greek yogurt every morning. A soft beginning, but a powerful one. 3 weeks later, Mr. Daniels returned to my office with a different energy. He sat taller, laughed more, and though he blushed as he said it, told me things had changed between him and his wife. Something had reignited. Why? Because papaya works on multiple levels. It's rich in vitamins A, C, and E antioxidants that help the body fight inflammation and oxidative stress. It contains papain, a natural enzyme that soothes digestion, reduces bloating, and supports better nutrient absorption. But most importantly, for men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, papaya supports healthy testosterone production and improves blood flow throughout the body. That means better oxygen delivery, more flexible blood vessels, and improve circulation to areas where it matters most. For many older men, that translates into firmer, more sustainable erections, renewed energy, and a body that starts to feel responsive again. But it's not just men who benefit. For women, papaya gently supports estrogen balance and enhances circulation to the pelvic area. That can ease dryness, increase sensitivity, and make intimacy more enjoyable again, not just physically, but emotionally. It also nourishes the adrenal glands, the part of your body that handles stress, helping you feel more relaxed, more open, and less fatigued when it comes time to connect. What makes papaya so special isn't just its impact, it's how easy it is to welcome into your life. It doesn't come in a plastic bottle or require a prescription. You don't need to measure it or track it. It's just a fruit, a beautiful tropical fruit you can scoop with a spoon in the morning and let it quietly do its work. That's the power of nature. It doesn't shout, it doesn't rush. It restores gently, steadily from the inside out. Papaya isn't a magic trick. It doesn't promise dramatic fireworks. But in many cases, it delivers something even better, the return of warmth, confidence, and a quiet desire to connect again. It helps couples rediscover not just their bodies, but each other. And just when you think a fruit couldn't possibly offer more, we move on to something that nourishes both heart and hormones, body and mind. A fruit that helps you rest deeper, feel lighter, and love more fully. Ready to find out what it is? Let's talk about cherries. 4. Cherries, the intimacy booster. There's something deeply nostalgic about cherries. Maybe it's their color, a dark, almost velvet red that feels luxurious. Or maybe it's the act of eating them. You don't just pop a cherry in your mouth and move on. You savor, you pause, you feel. Years ago, I worked with a couple in their late 60s. They had been married for over 40 years, and the love between them was still strong, undeniably so. But intimacy had grown distant, like a language they once spoke fluently, but now forgot how to start. The husband confessed that he felt heavy, disconnected from his own body. His wife, kind and patient, missed the closeness they once had, but never wanted him to feel pushed or ashamed. They were ready to try something gentle, something natural. That's when I recommended cherries. Yes, cherries. Most people are surprised when I say that, but the science behind it is powerful. Cherries are rich in anthocyanins, natural antioxidants that reduce inflammation in the arteries and boost nitric oxide production. That means improved circulation, not just to your heart or brain, but to the areas crucial for intimacy. For men, better blood flow to the penis means firmer, longer-lasting erections without needing synthetic medication. For women, cherries increase blood supply to the pelvic region, which can heighten sensation, reduce discomfort, and restore emotional connection during intimacy. But that's only part of their magic. Cherries also support your mind. They contain natural melatonin, which helps improve the quality of your sleep. And when you sleep well, your hormone levels stay more balanced. Your stress softens. You feel more emotionally available, more yourself. This couple didn't expect miracles, but after 2 months of enjoying cherries daily, they returned to me holding hands, stealing glances, and laughing like teenagers. Their affection had returned, not in a dramatic way, but gently, steadily, like an ember that had never fully gone out. And that's what I love most about cherries. They don't shock the system. They don't promise overnight transformations. They nourish slowly, deeply in a way that invites your body back into rhythm. They soften blood vessels, regulate hormones, and align your inner systems so that intimacy becomes less effort and more natural expression. Because real connection isn't about performance, it's about presence. And when your body feels safe, your heart can open again. Now imagine what happens when the next fruit not only supports your immune system and digestion, but also refreshes your skin, cools inflammation, and helps you feel emotionally lighter. Let's explore what blueberries can do. After learning about the 4 healing fruits that can quietly transform your life, you might still be thinking about what it all means in a world where pills are handed out faster than understanding. And honestly, who could blame you? With so much pressure to fix things instantly, the idea of slow, gentle nourishment almost feels revolutionary. But I've seen firsthand what happens when we choose this path. I've watched cherries do something that no prescription ever could. They open doors. Not with a bang, but with a whisper. Not by solving everything overnight, but by gently reminding the body of what it already knows. That it can feel, that it can connect, That closeness, both physical and emotional, is still possible. Sometimes all it takes is a simple nudge in the right direction. So now that you're familiar with the fruits, grapes, cranberries, papaya, and cherries, you might be wondering, where do I go from here? How do I actually bring this into my life without turning it into another complicated routine that I'll give up by next week? Well, here's the beautiful part. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. In fact, the best transformations I've witnessed didn't begin with major lifestyle overhauls. They began with something incredibly simple, a decision to start. If you've watched this far, chances are you're feeling it too, something within you stirring, wanting to shift. Maybe you've been feeling sluggish, emotionally distant, or frustrated by the idea that this is just part of getting older. But I'm here to tell you it doesn't have to be that way. Yes, your body is aging. That's true for all of us. But aging doesn't mean decline, not entirely, because deep down your body still remembers and knows how to heal. It still responds to the signals you give it. And when you feed it the right signals, especially through natural nourishment, it starts to wake up again. That's why I'm so passionate about this approach. It's not about extreme diets, expensive supplements, or overwhelming schedules. It's about fruit, whole, vibrant, beautiful fruit that your body knows. The kind of food your system immediately recognizes not as something foreign, but as something friendly. And here's how to begin. Just pick one of the 4 fruits. That's it. Start with the one that speaks to you the most. Maybe it's those juicy red grapes that taste like summer in your mouth. Maybe it's a sprinkle of tart cranberries added to your salad or oatmeal. Maybe you slice open a fresh papaya in the morning and feel the tropical sweetness brighten your breakfast. Or maybe in the quiet of the evening, you enjoy a few cherries as you exhale and let the day go. There's no wrong way to start. There's no gold star for doing it perfectly. What matters is that you begin, and that you give your body a consistent, gentle message every single day, a message that says, I'm choosing to live with intention. I'm choosing to feel good. I'm choosing to reconnect. Over the next few weeks, you might start to notice things shifting. Small things at first. Maybe your hands and feet feel warmer. Maybe your sleep becomes deeper, more restorative. Maybe your thoughts feel a little clearer, or your mornings feel a bit more energized. And in the most tender of moments, perhaps there's even a flicker of closeness, an emotional warmth, a return spark between you and someone you love. These are not coincidences. They are signs. Gentle whispers from your body saying, yes, I'm still here. And I want you to remember something very important. After years of working with older adults across the country, here's what I've learned. It is never too late. I've seen men in their 70s rediscover connection after years of silence. I've watched women come back home to their bodies, not because they turned back the clock, but because they decided to nourish what was still very much alive within them. And that made all the difference. So today I invite you to see your fruit bowl or your fridge or your next grocery trip with fresh eyes. Look at those grapes or cranberries or papayas or cherries, not just as food, but as quiet companions on your journey, as tools, as healing gifts, as sacred steps toward the kind of vitality and closeness that you can still have. Let this be your moment to begin, not because someone told you to, not because you feel guilty or pressured, but because deep down you want to feel good again. You want to feel strong, you want to feel close, and you absolutely deserve to. You've learned the what, you've seen the why, now the how is in your hands. And trust me, I'll be right here cheering for you every step of the way, because this isn't the end, it's the beginning of something beautifully real, refreshingly simple, and deeply powerful. So, are you ready?